Hello and welcome to this crochet tutorial on how to make these fingerless gloves. They are warm, they're soft, and they go very well with pretty much anything that you'll want to wear this winter. They have a thumb opening so that you can have your hands free enough so that if you need to do text messaging or anything, you can do that. The pattern that we have here is called the Uphill Climb, part of a series that has also a hat and a scarf attached. Come with me as we make these Uphill Climb fingerless gloves. The materials and tools that we will be using to make these uphill fingerless gloves is Red Heart with Love metallic in the color light gray. We have another Red Heart Super Saver accent in the color guava. And this is Red Heart Soft. It is a light teal color and it is called Deep Sea. We will be using a tapestry needle with a large eye, a pair of scissors, and here I have a size G7 4.50 millimeter crochet hook. We're going to begin with our light gray color. And as I always suggest, you might want to pull some yarn out so that you have enough to start your first row and get an even tension. I encourage you to leave about 4 to 6 inches for a tail that we can weave in later. And first, we're going to start off with a slip knot on our hook. After we do that, let's go ahead and chain 24, I have 4, continue on till you have 24. Please pause your video. After completing the 24, go ahead and follow your chain and bring your hook through that first loop that you made. Bring your yarn over and we're going to make a slip knot. After we do that, let's chain 1. Now in the same chain that you did your slip knot, which is right back here, we're going to place our first half double crochet. Yarn over, insert your hook, pull up a loop, yarn over through all 3 loops on your hook. Moving on to your next one. Now at the same time, you can go over your tail, and that way you don't have to weave it in later. Okay, let's go all the way around with a half double crochet in each chain. When you get done, make sure that you have 24 half double crochets at the end of the row. I'll meet you right here and show you how to finish our row. So after counting to make sure that you have 24, we're going to start off with our next color. My next color is going to be the teal, or the deep sea, the darker color. Now, what I would like for you to do is to come up here and slip stitch with your new color. So we're going to take our teal, put it on our hook. We have a little tail. We're going to pull it through both of those stitches there. Pull your gray tight, not too tight, but snug, and then pull your teal, and then chain 1. Now, to kind of start the locking process of both of these yarns, let's go ahead and bring them up, and in our first, where we slip stitched, we're going to place our first single crochet and go over both of your tails. Okay, and then chain 1. Skip your next stitch, and in the next stitch, single crochet. Now I'm going to still keep going over my tails. Chain 1, skip the next stitch, single crochet in the next. Now you're going to say, oh, I can see my tails. These will be covered in our next row. So, and chain 1. So continue with the single crochet and chain 1 until you get back to where we started. Do not finish off. I'm going to show you what to do for the next row. Oops, I made a mistake. So after you've made sure that you have 24 half double crochets, we're going to slip stitch into that first single crochet space. Now don't use your gray. We're going to pick up our new color. My new color is going to be the deep sea, which is that teal color. I'm going to leave a tail and put a loop on my hook and pull it through both of those stitches that were on my hook. I'm going to tighten the gray, and I'm going to tighten the teal and chain 1. Now we're going to drop the gray, and we're going to carry the teal tail, tongue twister, and we're going to plant it as we go along. So in our first one that we did our slip stitch, go ahead and do a single crochet and a chain 1. We're going to skip the next stitch, and then in the next stitch you can go over your tail as well. We're going to do a single crochet and chain 1. We're going to continue with the single crochet, chain 1 all the way around. And when you get back here, I would like for you to stop and wait for the next suggested thing to do. So continue on, single crochet, chain 1 until you get to the other side. Please pause your video. So at the end of the row, we're going to change our colors again. So slip stitch into that single crochet, drop your teal, and the gray from the first row, we're going to pick that back up and go through both of them. Okay, that makes it simple. Then we're going to chain 1. We'll tighten this in just a second. And in that same stitch, a single crochet. In your next, in the chain 1 space, pick up your tail as well. We're going to do 1 single crochet. Okay, let's stop right there for a second and tighten this tail. There we go. In our next stitch, which is the single crochet, we're going to do 1 half double crochet. Half double crochet in the chain 1 space. In the single crochet space, double crochet, double crochet in the chain 1 space. In the single crochet space, a treble. So wrap it twice around your hook. and through each one twice. Okay, and then we're going to drop back down. So we're going to chain 4 and single crochet into that chain 1 space. Okay, so what we're having here is the beginning of our uphill climb. Let's continue on. In the single crochet, we're going to place our single crochet. This is our repeat in our pattern. In our chain 1 space, single crochet. In the next one, half double crochet, half double crochet in the next one, double crochet, double crochet in the chain 1 space. We're going to do a treble, so wrap it twice, and that's going to go into our single crochet, chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and slip stitch into that chain 1 space. We have one more set that we're going to do. Single crochet into the next stitch, which should be right in that single crochet. Single crochet in the chain 1 space, half double crochet in the next, half double crochet in the next, double crochet over that single crochet, double crochet in the next. See, we have 2 stitches left, one here, one here. Here's our treble. Okay, chain 4. And then if you pull your chain from the color before, we're going to go ahead and place a slip stitch over the top of that, and then we're going to slip stitch and pick up a new color, which in this case is going to be our green, which will be our guava. Okay, so let's go ahead and stop there. We'll pick it up in just a second. What I would like for you to do is to take these extra ones, cut it, and we're going to go ahead and finish those off as soon as we start the next row, so we have something to lock into. And then I'll show you how this is going to start fitting in just a second. So let's go ahead and do that part, and then we'll start with our green. I took my strings and went through the center and brought them down to the bottom. So this one we're going to go ahead and have like a little 4-inch tail, bring it through, and this time we're going to chain 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. This will bring our height up, as you can see here. And then, since this is where our chain is going, we're going to be going into the next stitch, and we're going to place a treble. You can carry your tail up and start placing it under your stitching now. So you see this one right here. We want to go to the next one. Okay, so we're going to basically go in reverse as to what we did here. So our next stitch will be a double crochet, in our next stitch a double crochet, half double crochet, double crochet, and here's our treble. That will be kind of like a guide for you. You'll always place a single crochet in there. So the 2 singles will always get a treble, or the 2 trebles will always get a single. Now here's our chain 4. I like picking up 2 parts of that chain, so I'm going to go underneath here and make a single crochet out of that. Okay, so this is what we have so far. You can see our uphill climb. Moving on, wrap your hook twice, and down here in that first single crochet, let's place our treble. In our next stitch, we'll get a treble. Double crochet, double crochet, half double crochet, half double crochet, single crochet, and our last single crochet will go here into that first chain of the chain 4. Here's our last set of our repeat. Treble, treble, double crochet, double crochet, half double crochet, half double crochet, single crochet, and single crochet in the top of that chain 4. I hope you're getting into the rhythm of this. I think you're going to really find that this is a fun pattern, and it's going to look pretty good. So before we slip stitch it closed, let me show you what this is going to do. This is going to be the top where our fingers are going to come out at. So this is how it's going to fit, like this. We're going to have our one pattern here, and then we'll have a ribbing down here. So the next we're going to do is we're going to pick up our teal, or our light teal color, and that'll be our next color. Okay, so place your hook into the top of that chain 4. Here we have our teal color. Let's go ahead and pull that through. Okay, so do you know what we need to do now? If you go down a row below, you'll see we're going to start off with a single crochet. That's right. This is a 2-row repeat, as like I showed in the hat and the scarf pattern. Now, even though we chained one and slid up one, we're going to go back through that single crochet loop for the other side and through that same one we did the slip stitch. Now we're going to do a single crochet because we brought it up, so now we need our stitch. Single crochet, single crochet. You'll notice I'm going over my tail, half double crochet, half double crochet, double crochet, double crochet, treble, and chain 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. and then slip stitch into that last single crochet. Now, I believe that you can carry on the repeat twice. 2 single crochets, 2 half doubles, 2 doubles, treble, chain 4. Go ahead and do that. I'll meet you at the end of the row. At the end of this row, I would like for you to slip stitch into that single crochet with the same color, because we're going to end this particular color. And we're going to start with a new color in a different location. And then leave yourself a tail for weaving in. Okay, so this is what we have so far. We have 3 drops, 1, 2, and 3. We have lots of ends we need to weave in before we move any further. So let's go ahead and flip it inside out and take our extra ends and use our tapestry needle to weave in our yarn. To thread a needle, my suggestion is take the yarn and place it between your 4 fingers. Bring it up from behind, and with those 2 fingers pinch it, and it'll make a tiny little loop. Then take your yarn and work it through the eye of the needle. If you use the ends, the tendency of it fraying is really high. So in order to keep it from doing that, you want to fold it. Now what I do is I usually go through the color that I'm working, and pull it through, not tight, just enough. If you need to stretch it out a little. Then you'll notice here I have 2 stitches. I go over this first one and then under the rest. What that does is when I pull it back, I don't lose what I just stuck in. And then I'll go over it again, skip over this one, and then cut my yarn. Go ahead and do that for your other loose ones, and then we'll continue on. Please pause your video. Now remember to turn your glove to the right side facing out. Your wrong side will be on the inside with all your woven ends in. So at this time, go ahead and take where your chain 4 comes down, and we're going to count over 1, 2, 3. So in that third one right here. Okay, so right after those 2 single crochets, we're going to start off with a double crochet. And we're going to do that with our gray yarn. So let's start off with a slip knot on our hook and a little tail. So place your finger on your loop on your hook, wrap it once, count over those 2 single crochets and into where the half double is, insert your hook, draw up a loop, yarn over through 2, yarn over through 2. We have completed 1 standing double crochet. So we're going to do a double crochet in our next stitch, half double crochet, half double crochet, and here's our treble. So that's going to get 1 single crochet, and here's our chain 4. It's going to get a single crochet right there at the top. In our next stitch, We're going to drop all the way down here. Here's our first single crochet. We're going to get our treble. Okay, now I know you remember us doing that from the row before. So we're going to do 2 trebles, 2 double crochets, 2 half double crochets, 2 single crochets. So go ahead and finish this row and then complete the other repeat, and I'll meet you when you get to the end of the row. So at the end of the row, we are not going to slip stitch. This is the hole opening for our thumb. So I'd like for you to cut a 4-inch tail, pull it through, and then here on the other side, we're going to go ahead and start over here. So let me show you what we have so far. This is our thumb. This is our top where our fingers go. So we're going to slide it over like this. Okay, so we're going to start here with a new row. Yes, we'll have some more tails to carry. That's the unfortunate thing. Okay, so let's get started here. Let's place a slip knot on our hook and let's get going. So for right here, we're going to start off with a half double crochet. And in our next stitch, half double crochet. Okay, and we're going to continue all the way around till we get to the other side. So place 1 half double crochet in each stitch around. After completing 22 half double crochets, we're going to go ahead and cut our yarn again. I didn't like when you place the reverse on it, so this is the reason why we're stopping and starting. Okay, so we're going to start again with another slip knot on our hook, and I believe if you place it on your glove, the glove on your hand, you'll see that we'll have one more row and then we can go ahead and close it off. All right, so let's do that. Place another slip knot on our hook and let's get going. So we're going to do another row of half double crochets. So since I'm right-handed, on the right side of this half double crochet is where we should find our chain stitch here. So let's go ahead and bring up a loop. Oops, I lost mine. Hang on. There we go. Yarn over through all 3. Okay, now in the next stitch we can carry the 2 from the previous rows under this stitching. So we're going to do 1 half double crochet in each one of the stitches across. So when you get to the end of the row, you'll have 22. Don't cut your yarn or anything, because I'm going to show you what we're going to do. We need to add a few stitches so that we can finish this row up. After our 22, we're going to chain 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. All right, so in this row here, we're going to do a half double crochet in that first half double crochet. And half double crochet all the way around till you get back to this first half double crochet. Looks lopsided, doesn't it? I need to try that one again. So when you get to the end of the row, make sure you have 22 here. Now we're going to chain 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Then we're going to come across and slip stitch into the half double crochet. Okay. After we slip stitch into that stitch, we're going to chain 2 and half double crochet into that same stitch. Half double crochet all the way around. So when you get back here, you'll have a total of 28 half double crochets. And let me show you what we've got so far. We have our hole here. This is going to allow our thumb to come in. And the reason why we're having additional stitches is because when we put the ribbing around here, it causes it to pull in a little bit. So we're adding 4 extra stitches so that we can have a little bit bigger. And all of this will tighten up as we go ahead and make our ribbing for our wrist. So go ahead and finish this row. I'll meet you at the end. So after we have our 28 stitches, we're going to count up to the top of our chain 2. We're going to slip stitch this row closed and chain 2 again. Half double crochet in each stitch around. You will have 28 stitches again. At the end of this row, before we slip stitch it closed, I'd like for you to try it on and see that it meets where you want it to. It should meet right here at the beginning of your wrist. Okay? So let's go ahead and slip stitch this close into the top of the chain 2. Now we're going to chain 3. 1, 2, 3. We're going to start front post and back post double crochet to give a ribbing effect. So to do that, yarn over, go behind that first half double crochet, take your yarn over and bring it from behind up to the front, yarn over through the 2 loops and yarn over through the next 2 loops. That's our first front post double crochet. Now we're going to do a back post. It's easy. You can do this. Now we've wrapped our loop around, so place your finger on top of that. Come up from behind and go over the top of the next half double crochet, and you'll see it'll come over here. Take your yarn, go over your hook, and it'll come through and through. Yarn over through the 2 loops, yarn over through there, the last 2 loops, and then we're going to go front post again. And what this does is it kind of helps pull the stitching together. You won't see it on the first row or 2, but you'll notice it later. And then we're going to do a back post. So we're only doing 1 on 1. Now if you want yours to be a little different, you could do 2 and 2, or you could do 2 and 1. The pattern for the ribbing can be whatever you choose it to be. Okay, continue around until you get to this last one, which should be a front post, and then we're going to slip stitch into the top of that chain 3. I'll see you then. Please pause your video. So as a reminder, I ended with my front post. Here's my chain 2. I'm going to slip stitch into the top of that chain 2. That completes that row. Let's chain 3. And we're going to do the exact same thing again. I know you can hardly wait, right? So, front post double crochet and back post double crochet. Front post double crochet. Okay, you can see how the lines are starting to show up here. It looks really nice. Continue all the way around. I'll meet you at the end of the row. Please pause your video. Now after I've completed this row, you can already see how it's starting to draw in some, which will mean that it'll fit not tight, but fit nicely on your wrist. Okay. I'm going to do probably another 2 rows and then I'm going to finish. This part is going to be at your choice. You can either stop now after we've done 2 rows, or you can do up to a total of 5 rows. Looks nice, doesn't it? Let's continue on. And I hope you send me a picture through my Facebook. Garnet is a jewel. And let me see what you've done. I also am on Instagram. So let's finish up a couple more rows and then we'll call it a day on this pair of fingerless gloves. So to finish this off, let's go ahead and place a little bit longer tail. I did 4 rows on my ribbing. I'm going to go ahead and pull it through here. I'll get my needle. Then, because of the ribbing, and you see how the stretch that it has, I'm going to go up and down on my stitching. So I'm going to go ahead and pick up some. See, because if you go with the ribbing, it will be hard to keep it stretched. And it might cause you to see where your tail is at. So don't forget to go over one as you come back. I'm going to go over this 3 times. That's usually the magic number. And I don't want my cut end here. I'm going to take my cut end, I'm going to put it inside my glove. Okay, so here I have my fit fingerless gloves. Okay, now I did want to show you one thing because I'm sure it's running through your mind. How do I make one for the other side? Well, it's the same pattern. Isn't that a nice thought? I'm gonna make a second one for the picture. I hear ya. All right, so thank you so much for joining me in making of this fingerless glove. I want to remind you that yes, there is a hat that goes with this. Ooh, doesn't that look pretty? And here I'm just showing you a portion of the scarf. So here we have a nice complete set with fringe, the hat, and the fingerless gloves. Okay, I'll place the links for the hat and the scarf in the description box. So until next time, thank you so much for joining me in this crochet project of making these fingerless gloves, the uphill climb design. I hope you come back again next time where I will have another crocheted video, or maybe even a cooking video. A little bit about myself. My major in college was apparel design. Yes, I used to do clothing. I used to be a quilting instructor for the city that I live in their Parks and Recreation department. I taught children and adults how to quilt and sew, as well as do origami. Yes, I love crafts. So, till the next time I see you, take care and bye-bye.